AITA for demanding a male masseuse by you deleted, which means that this person got all these responses and probably freaked the fuck out.
Yeah.
Which is kind of weird given the top comments on Reddit, which we'll get into.
I'm excited.
Yep.
I, F24, have almost constant back pain due to having breasts that are disproportionate to my size.
I'm like, I should have edited that out. What was I doing?
That's relevant to the situation.
No, it is.
Also,
it's
I like
relevant.
it, Sarah. There's nothing
yeah,
wrong
but
with
you
that.
smirked when you said it, and I was like,
I
here
smirked
we go.
because, well, I like that she says
like-
they're disproportionate to my size. Like, oh, are they disproportionately small? No, I doubt it.
Right, because small boobs will not cause you back pain.
They would not cause you back pain.
Right, so I think it's just a funny way of masking that she has huge boobs.
Right.
Okay.
Because she's saying they're disproportionate. Would be like saying,
It is material to the story, but also she could just say she has back pain.
Yeah, it's not really material.
That's another.
Right, it's
she could
not
just be like,
truly
I have
material.
chronic back pain.
Right, exactly.
I don't want to get a reduction because I don't want to lose the ability to breastfeed or lose any sensitivity. Oh boy.
Yeah, I really should have. I'm like, why did I edit this? This is not necessary. It's fine. Sorry.
So I'm saddled with pretty annoying back pain that I try my best to manage with physical therapy and massages. I have one masseuse, let's call him Joe, that I use whenever I go to the massage parlor, which is maybe once a month. This masseuse is a very large, strong man. And he uses a lot of force when he massages my back, which is how I like it. I've had other masseuses in the past, but none have ever been as good as Joe because they haven't used as much force to really get in there and relax my muscles. And I have not once had a satisfactory massage from a woman. This is not to say there are not talented female masseuses, but as I mentioned before, I really, italicized, prefer quite a bit of force, which necessitates a certain amount of strength. This past week, I went to the massage parlor with a scheduled appointment with Joe. Only when I got there, the receptionist told me Joe had called in sick. So now I was to see Stacy, who was filling in for him. I told her I'd rather just reschedule the appointment, but the receptionist was rather insistent and assured me that Stacy was a good masseuse. At this point, Stacy had emerged from the back and was witnessing this exchange. She was maybe around 5'2" and had a very thin frame and much smaller boobs than me. Just kidding, I added that in. There was no way I was wasting my money on a massage that could very well be subpar in the amount of force needed. I told the receptionist that I didn't want a massage from a woman because I needed a masseuse with a lot of strength. The receptionist looked nothing short of scandalized. Stacy looked pretty pissed too. I apologized and left. Now, I normally consider myself a progressive person, but I can't ignore the differences between the sexes. Men are usually stronger than women, and that's that. Joe and Stacy were no exception to this generalization. I didn't want to have to say it out loud, but the receptionist gave me no choice. I'm not great at lying on the spot. AITA.
Okay, I didn't doubt that this post was definitely written by a woman until we got to the part that's like, I can't ignore the differences between the sexes. Men are stronger.
Yeah,
I
I feel like I've only heard men use that argument ever.
Yeah. Well,
Maybe the boob thing was a red herring.
I must be honest. I am relatively new to massage culture in general.
Yeah.
I did not have a lot of massages really before, like, I lived in New York.
Same.
Is it the stress?
I guess so. I think it's the stress. I wonder if maybe I don't sit right.
That could be.
I think that could be a problem. I try to have good posture, but I don't always. I sometimes slouch. And
Or could it be the onset of your enormous breasts?
I have huge
that you got
tits.
in New
I got
York?
huge,
I
big,
thought
fat
maybe it could be
knockers,
that, yeah.
and you know,
They're beautiful.
Listen, they've gotten me out a lot of a jam, but but you know, but they're a burden. You know, they're a burden too. I can't. You know, seatbelts are tough. I really, I think like. I gotta be like there must be. I don't know that I've ever had a massage from a man, like a professional massage from a man. Anytime I've gone to get a massage at a place, they always just send a woman in.
Yeah, same.
I've had a lot of massages.
Yeah, I've had two. So
And they
please
always
take
send
the
a
lead.
woman in for you?
I mean, I've had literally two in my life. Both times have been a female. So yeah.
Oh, okay. Did you find it was sufficiently strong?
So I'm a baby. So yeah, it was fine.
Okay.
Yeah, I've really had a lot of massages.
Really?
Yeah, I would say I've probably had 100 at least.
Wow.
Wow.
A lot.
I don't think
nothing weird.
I might be in double digits, but just barely.
Yeah. I used to go, I would say weekly. or so. A
Lot of stress?
Stress. I think I have terrible posture. Wasn't exercising at all.
Okay.
Weirdly, now I haven't done it. I kind of kicked the habit. I don't know. But I'll say this person, I don't know where they live. I think demographics are part of it. Because in New York, we have a super developed massage scene. It's not a scene.
No, it's a scene.
It's
scene?
a culture. It's a
It's a
scene.
scene. People
Okay.
are moving here.
Yeah, I mean, look, you can make a lot of money if you're a good masseuse here, for
Certainly,
sure. And I always
certainly.
go to the Asian places, and I think that's a fair, not racist way of describing them. They're run by Asian people in Asian neighborhoods.
Yeah.
The cheapest ones are in Flushing. And,
Noted.
but I've had women that I've literally had to tell twice, like, hey, tone it down.
That's a lot.
You're
Yeah.
actually killing me.
I
Yeah.
find the women that I have had massages from are usually quite thorough. They like, it's a very concentrated point of contact.
Yes.
Like it's like they're really getting in there, really
Yeah.
kneading the dough.
They have they know. I don't even know if it's pure strength as much as it is like strategy, leverage. They'll stand on you. They'll do all this shit.
Yeah.
And like
Cool.
I've been like
I've had people stand on my back.
I'm in pain. Like I've left in pain before.
Yeah, I had one lady. Actually, we had like two, I guess, massage therapists come into our office, and I went to one lady. She like fucked up my neck, so I just went to the other lady like 20 minutes later, and I was
Nice.
like, "Yo, you gotta fix this."
Whoa. It's like getting like a touch up on a haircut immediately.
Immediately, yeah, but I was like, my neck was perfectly fine, and now I can't move it. So like,
Yeah.
what the fuck?
No,
I
that's
was
messed
so
up.
annoyed. First of all, why would you touch my neck? Like, it was perfectly fine.
Right.
That was upsetting. Anyway, sorry.
I've got a lot
No.
of massage stories. I'll get into it, but I want to jump into this story because
Yeah.
I think what we're going to come back to is that like New York and other big cities have this kind of like massage scene. I don't know a
Right.
better way to put it.
Yeah, there's just like a bigger market, and there's like
Right.
you have everything from like your small business to a massage envy, you know.
Right.
Yes, and see when I lived in Arizona, and maybe you'll relate with this in Michigan, like in AZ, like there was massage envy, and that was it. Like I'm sure there
Yeah,
were
same
shady
thing in
ones
Atlanta, I think, when
in
I was
strip
there.
malls, but I never noticed them. I would never go to that, and I went to massage envy, and I would say it's a little different. Like these are like people who went to massage
Yeah.
school or something like that.
There were definitely spas and massage places, but honestly, when I was in Michigan, the only massage experience I ever had was from another camper at summer camp. That was somebody I was at summer camp with.
And they
Sounds
do like
really
crack an egg
special.
on your
You
head, let the yolk drip down and give you the chills.
it's all like exactly all that stuff.
Wait, what?
At summer camp? Oh my gosh!
They
Wow, okay.
crack an egg over
It's
your
No,
like
no,
a-
it's like a joke. You do. I feel like I can't put the mic down, but I'll demonstrate later. But yeah, it's like you just give someone the chills. It's like more of like just like rubbing someone's back than massaging.
You,
But
like,
it has
yeah,
a whole
put, like, a
song.
fist.
You pretend to crack an egg on the head. The yolk
then
drips
you-
down. Okay, cool.
All
Just
right.
me then.
Oh, I never went to camp, and I don't regret it.
You could have learned some
Yeah.
bootleg massage techniques.
Yeah.
But-
Some street massage.
I guess what I'm kind of leaning towards is that. Well, I guess the real question is, could she be right?
So
That's
here's
kind of-
my read on this, and like, granted, I am the designated man hater or whatever of this podcast, but
Hey,
I
that-
do
you
feel
know.
like the OP was like, she's not burying the lead, but she's not really. She's kind of beating around the bush a bit. It's not that you don't want a woman. It's that you're looking at this woman, you think she's small, you need someone who can apply a lot of strength. And I think that's kind of the point that she should have gone with versus like gender.
Right. I mean, she could have probed more. She could have said,
Yeah.
like, hey, just so you know, I like it extremely strong.
Yes.
Yeah.
Do you
Yeah.
feel like you can handle that?
I think
Exactly.
this is more a matter of how old the OP is, because I think the older you get, the more comfortable you are in saying exactly what it is that you want from a service specifically.
Oh, interesting.
I think I can remember going to going to get a service of some kind, any kind, haircuts, whatever it was, and being like nervous about hurting the feelings of the person who's
Right,
administering the
right.
service, not taking into account that I am paying the money, I am the customer. My satisfaction at this place from my position is all that matters.
Yeah.
Because even though I've worked in service jobs and the customer's always wrong, but as the customer, like, I want the best for my money. And I am no longer like, when I get a haircut now, I don't have any problem. Like, this is just take something off this.
Yep.
I don't worry about hurting the artist's feelings. you know?
Yeah, I also feel like the way that she could have approached this was like she should have been like, okay, can you handle it? And the person would be like, yeah. She'd get the massage. If it's not satisfactory, she can probably just get another one for free.
Yes. Yes. I wanted to riff off what Nate said real quick, which is just because a thing I've talked about a lot is internalized unassertiveness, which I think is kind of the opposite of what you're saying. And I like that you put it on an age spectrum, because I think a lot of people don't realize, like, you're doing everyone a favor when you just say what you fucking want.
Just say what you want.
Sometimes that really helps.
It really does.
But
it
OP
really
did
does.
that.
Well, okay. So going back into the situation, I do think a wrong has been done to OP. She showed up for an appointment with her guy.
Yeah, they should have told her.
That's a great point.
That's reason enough to be like, hey, look, I have an appointment with my guy. My guy's not here. I'm out.
Comfortable with Joe.
Right.
I'm comfortable with Joe.
Yeah.
Right.
She's the one who bit off. And I actually think, now circling back to this letter we got about an asshole versus the asshole, she kind of sounds like an asshole, but because her behavior is so normal and so like, look, he's not my guy, so I'm out. I'm like, what she did does not make her the asshole at all.
There was a way to go about this, and it might have even resulted in her not getting a massage all the same and her storming out. But there was a way to go about this to say, like, at the onset, hey, I like it rough. So you got to get in there and really, like, put an elbow down or something, you know, like, really get in there. Like, you got to tell people.
Absolutely.
But also, I don't know how this kind of stuff works. I don't really go to, like, a regular person of anything that often. Like, if your person is not there, do they have to call you, or can they just wait till you come in?
I think
especially if they kind of called in sick at the beginning of the day.
I think they kind of assume you really need that massage.
Right.
And so, like, you're not going to leave.
Are they wrong for not calling her in advance?
No, but I would say it's a you know, if you always got the haircut from the same place and your barber isn't there, and you're like, look, I'm precious about my hair. I'm a model, you know. It's never happened to me, but you know, you could be a guy with yard scissors, and I'm like, yeah, him. That's great.
I only get haircuts from 2 different barbers at my barbershop. I mean, I guess I have in total 3, but
sure.
But I've been going to this barbershop for a long time, for I think about like 7, 8 years since I lived in New York.
That's commitment.
And yeah, I have like a real relationship with the main, like my main guy is like. I would consider him a friend at this point. I mean, I've moved shops with him, you know.
And if you showed up, do you schedule appointments?
Yeah.
And if you were to show up and he wasn't there,
there are 1 to 2 backups I can go with
okay.
who will do a good job.
But they wouldn't like call you to be like, oh, hey, Anthony was sick today.
Right.
Yeah, okay.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, I don't blame the business for not calling, but I think she has every right to be like, look, I just don't want to do it. She didn't need to give any reason. There's no obligation on her to spend her money. And I also think a massage is a lot more intimate than a haircut.
Yes.
Right? A haircut is riskier, right? Because you get a bad haircut. It's over for you.
Yeah, I don't think she's an asshole for her actions, but I'm like, are you an asshole for like your reasoning and the way you went about it is the way I feel.
Well,
yeah.
The thing you said at the end, the thing you said about the end, that you've only ever heard men frame the gender strength thing. I think there's something to that. I don't know. I mean, I have heard women say that like men are strong and they can, you know, hold us down, and that's why it's terrifying to be alone with them if you don't know them.
Oh, yeah.
But like,
not where I thought you were going with that, but
no,
I
but like I've heard women say that, and I understand that viewpoint, but I've never heard a woman get a massage and think like this little thing can't handle my back, you know?
Right.
How big are these tits?
They're big.
I mean, like that's really what this comes down to. I think like she's too busty.
She is ready to talk about how busty she is for sure. Yeah, I mean, look, I think I'm not ready to come that far for her because I think she's inexperienced. She's 24 years old. She's never maybe had, or she's had one woman masseuse, and I gotta say, you know what? I might even be able to go. If I saw some white girl, I'd be like, "What? Cindy, you went to massage school? Nuh-uh." But you give me some of these Asian masseuses that I know because I've literally been injured.
Yeah,
and that's experience,
right?
You know, and so it's prejudice, right? Isn't that what prejudice is when you're prejudging?
Yeah, it's clearly prejudice.
It is prejudice. Yeah,
it's prejudice.
100%.
But I don't blame her. I mean, it's a generally true thing.
I don't know. I'm like, I can kind of blame her just because, again, like she didn't need to say all that shit out loud, you
Yeah.
know? Like, damn,
Yeah.
we all got prejudiced belief, but I don't say that shit out loud.
I think she. Well, I don't want to jump to the verdict. I think I definitely think she could have handled this better. I think this is like a matter of tact more than anything else.
yeah.
Yeah, I
See,
mean,
now we're getting so philosophical, but I feel like that's the thing. I'm like, you were very tactless. Are you wrong?
Well,
like,
No,
I-
she's yeah. Sorry.
well, I think you're spot on because I think I was getting confused about what she actually was writing in this thing and what she
Right.
actually said. And what she did say was, I don't want a massage from a woman because I need a masseuse with a lot of strength. And like, that's just not something you need to say out loud. It's not fair.
If I mean, no man could say that and not be completely
you're so
like,
right.
misogynist.
And he
you
would
know?
be totally
You-
YTA.
Right. And I would agree that he's the asshole. Like if this
Yeah.
was a man, I would be like, it's an insane thing for you to say
Yes.
that this professional can't do her job.
Ooh, that's true. I like that.
Yes. And I think even if I assume she's right in this, it's still just rude. It's just
It is.
plain rude.
Right.
Yeah.
And she didn't get the massage. Right?
Right. No,
Yeah, she
she
didn't
walked
get it.
out.
She walked out, so she doesn't even know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She could have, another like super tactful thing is started the massage.
Yeah,
Wa-
like this
walked
could have
out.
changed her entire worldview. This experience, she could have
Yeah.
been like,
Oh, wow.
"I never thought a woman could give a good massage until whatever her name is." You know,
I think
Right.
you just pushed me back to
Ooh.
okay. Sharon F. NTA. Every time I book a massage, they ask me if I have a preference between a man or a woman. No, you are not unreasonable.
Yeah, this is not Am I Unreasonable subreddit.
Lynn B. YTA. You could just say you want someone who can do a really strong massage. Some of the most intense ones I've gotten for back pain have been women. Assuming the woman can't do her job is silly.
I feel that.
Lisa P. As a massage therapist, you're not the asshole for this. Whoa!
Whoa.
Totally the
Curveball.
asshole
Did
for
not see-
using. Oh boy, this is totally the asshole for using masseuse as terminology, though. We dislike that. It's used
Okay.
in correlation with sex workers pretty often.
Because I thought it was like helpful info. It's like when you call a registered dietitian a nutritionist, they get like, or the reverse. Like one is not the
You
same.
better be ready to define that shit. If
I
you're
gotta
gonna
Google it.
wait,
trot that out.
masseuse is a bad word?
Masseuse, as you're saying, is used for
Apparently.
sex workers.
No, it isn't. It means somebody who administers a massage, doesn't it?
Also,
Isn't that
what's a
what the
sex
word? No.
worker? I call him a whore. I'm all right. Lost
did I?
everyone. Oh, I had to do it.
Old Danny
I
Carolla.
don't know, I just thought that was like good
Again.
to know.
Oh,
there
man,
he
that
is.
hurts my feelings so
Man, in
much.
50 years, Betty.
Calling me Corolla. All right, I'm sorry I said the WH word.
No,
I
what?
don't,
What
use
the
sex
hell?
word. I don't-
This
I do
commenter is an asshole. What the hell is? You can't call them masseuses. This is what like this is. This is not like calling someone an Oriental. This is like you know. This is like a real. That's a word. It's a word we have
Hey,
already for
cool
that.
it, Nate Stern. I don't know if that works. Who's a really racist guy? Not Don Rickles.
Anthony Cumia.
Don
No.
Imus.
Don Imus. That's who I wanted.
I mean, there's a lot of guys. Who's the
Yeah. Pick
David
one.
Duke? I don't know. I mean,
Don Imus. God,
I
it's
just thought it
terrible.
was like helpful info to know.
I guess that's interesting. I think I want
But
to.
no, she's not the asshole for that. I just thought it was like good to know. Apparently, you got to use the term massage therapist now.
I want to go with Lisa. I want to go with her and be like, okay, like it's bigoted to say masseuse. I don't understand it, so it's hard for me to like take her side. Does that make sense?
Sure. Yeah. I mean, I think like, again, it's kind of like if you call a registered dietitian or nutritionist, they get mad because like one, you could literally just do like, I think I could decide I could become a nutritionist and there's not like as much formal like schooling involved
Right.
versus becoming a registered dietitian where there's like these set up practices. So maybe
I
that's what
see.
she's getting at. But I don't.
it's the registered
No.
thing. That's what it is. That's what
Yeah.
makes it. That's what
It's
makes it
the
Yeah.
official.
It's like, did you go to school? Did you do these
Right.
like standard practices? Whatever. But I don't know what she's getting at. But that's like my correlation in my head.
Okay. Well, thanks for sharing, Lisa. She's really
I don't think I just want to say I don't think the word when I hear the word masseuse, I don't think I'm having sex with somebody.
No.
Is that crazy?
Yeah,
no.
Am I
Maybe
wrong
where
for
you
that?
are Flushing. Just kidding.
Yeah.
No, I don't know.
Well, okay. We'll get into one of the stories.
But
here.
actually, there was a place on Steinway near where I live that got shut down for being like
A rub and tug.
notorious. Yes.
Yeah.
What do you call it? Rub and tug?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was just thinking Happy Endings place.
Yeah, so I've got a lot of massages in the city in Flushing. Never have I been offered a happy
Really?
ending or anything like that. Nothing weird.
No. You probably have to like know someone to even find that type of place.
Yeah, there used to be. I remember shortly after I moved here, a place was shut down in the city that was like a notorious. It was like you had to like get the number from somebody
Yeah,
who
exactly.
already
They
went.
can't just let anyone walk in and bust their sex ring.
Yeah. So anyway, I knew it was a thing, but it never happened to me, and I thought, no problem. So we were doing a thing. We were doing like a Jewish Thanksgiving. My my friend Lucas knows all about Flushing, and so anyway, we were running early, so I brought my brother and my roommate, who is gay, who I just say because it was all women massage parlor. We went to Flushing. We had nothing to do, and I was like, "Oh, we'll go upstairs to this massage parlor. This is legit. It's on the main drag." I was like, "How bad can it be?
Yeah.
It's open 24 hours."
Right.
That didn't, for some reason, that didn't
Sometimes
bother
you
me.
need a massage at 4:30. That's not weird.
Right?
It's not
That's
weird.
not weird. We're all stressed out. Imagine getting off at 3:30.
I've been drinking for hours.
So I go in there and I am taken to a room at the massage table, and I don't see where they go. They are getting their massage at the same time, and there's a sign that says "No weird stuff," or what it
No
says.
weird
Well,
stuff.
it doesn't
no horseplay.
I forget what it says.
Walk,
It-
don't run.
It's like, a no sexual whatever. It's very like,
Right.
none of that's going to happen. So we're like 10, 15 minutes in the massage, and I'm like, hey, like, you really got to get in there. You're just not really doing anything. You really got to rub. And I'm like trying to give her instructions. Then she starts rubbing my nipples and really just going for it. And then I'm like, okay, so this is clearly that. Because like
Right.
the
So the
massage
sign
here,
misled you.
the sign was
Oh
the
my
opposite. And I've been
God.
told that the signs often indicate the opposite, that it is a happy ending when they have the sign.
The sign is
Wait,
like
are you serious?
the sign is like the paper bag around the beer outside.
Exactly.
It's just this like, hey, we're not doing anything crazy
So if
here.
you have a sign that's like we're DTF,
I just
then
winked
they're-
on a podcast. That's the
Yeah.
dumbest shit
Yeah,
I've
he
ever
winked
done.
everyone.
Great.
So anyway,
Wait, no, but I'm sorry. I really need to interrupt.
Yeah.
Like, do the serious places just don't have any signage
no, yeah,
indicating?
most of them don't have any signs. It's just like you
Noted.
wouldn't think there's
Yeah.
happy endings because
Right.
nothing happens.
Right.
So
Huh.
anyway, and then she offers a happy ending. She says it's $60, and I'm like,
Oh.
no, I can't.
My God.
I have a girlfriend. She thinks there's like some kind of language issue, so she pulls out like some weird translation app, and I'm like,
Oh, God.
girlfriend,
What?
no, girlfriend, can't,
Want to?
no, can
I was
do.
gonna say,
Well, I mean, I
if
wanted
you
to a
gave
little
too
bit.
much info, you could have just said no.
Yeah,
I
think
said no many times.
Right.
So we go
But
back.
she's used to closing the deal.
She's used to
she's used to
closing.
having
Oh
a
my
dick in
God.
her hand and closing the deal,
She's-
and that
Jeez.
usually closes a deal.
Right?
I find.
So she's giving me now the worst massage I've ever had by a lot. She's like literally just like putting her fingers together while
Because
touching
you won't
me.
let her jerk you off.
Yeah, pretty much, and it's like that's how they make money because it's a pretty cheap massage otherwise. It's like $30 an hour.
Right,
So after
okay.
about 40 minutes, I just like I walk out and I end up waiting like 5-10 minutes, and then my brother and my gay roommate come out.
Oh, no.
And we get into the hallway, we all leave, we all pay and leave, and I'm like, guys, I'm so sorry. Like that was so weird for me. I just you're not gonna believe what happened to me. And they're like, oh, you're not gonna believe what happened to us.
Uh-oh.
We were made to lay on the floor. There was no I was like, there's no table. They're like, what table? No, they had never had a massage before. So they're like, oh yeah, you just lay on the floor. That's how this goes. And then the woman just sat on them. And so my gay roommate was like, hey, I don't like women. That was his reason.
Right.
And the
Oh.
woman was like, oh, like she almost started crying because she was so happy that she didn't have to do it.
Whoa. Where?
and-
I hope this place does not exist anymore.
Oh, it definitely. It
You can't
definitely
close this
exists.
place.
Yeah, it's
Danny.
So
Wow.
then I was like, okay, brother, let's go get Chinese food. And
Oh,
everyone was like
wow.
really shaken except me. I mean, I felt so guilty. It seemed like a trap.
Oh my.
Wow.
I have a million follow-up questions, but like, I'm speechless right now. That's insane.
Yeah, I think they've forgiven me since, I hope.
Oh my gosh, good.
I don't know what I would do if I walked into a massage room and they just pointed at the floor.
Right?
I don't like. I was like, what happens there?
Ugh, God.
What goes on down there?
Okay, I've also got to say, I feel like $60 for a hand job seems expensive.
No.
No?
No,
Cheap?
I mean, well, first of all, it's New York, so everything's more expensive. But
Everything's more expensive.
Oh my
I feel
God.
like a $50 hand job is,
Yeah.
it's like, Hand jobs like an eighth a weed, it's like that's like around $50. I think is like the
Right. I guess
going rate
in
of
terms
mids.
of like paying for that, I'm like that seems like a lot of money to drop on something.
Oh, I think and that.
No, I would
Is
never
what I
do
mean.
that. I would never do that.
Yeah, okay, cool.
You could get a good dinner for that price,
right, and then you'd probably get fucked anyway if it's a good enough dinner.
Yeah, well, it depends
True.
how inept you are.
Right.
This
Top
is taking a
Reddit
dark turn. Sorry,
comment.
guys.
Yeah, I think that's. Sarah didn't know that prostitution was a viable career. Apparently,
That's not true.
Sex work is
And
work.
it's sex work.
sex work. I'm sorry.
Sex work is
Come
work.
on, we don't
Sex
say
work is
masseuses
work.
and we don't say prostitutes.
Oh, you can't say the p word.
No,
I
you
actually didn't
can
know
say
that.
it, but they actually prefer sex work.
Yeah, but here's the problem that like they also say that a lot of different jobs fall under the umbrella of sex work, so it's not
That's true.
descriptive enough.
Oh, that's
know?
fair. Well, I actually read a really fascinating article about an escort, which is a slightly different thing.
Right.
And she realized she would charge $300 an hour, and you could do anything in that time. And
Right.
all her clients are like high-powered businessmen. And one day, I forget why she got the idea, but she's like, "What if I just raise my price to $500 an hour?" And guess what happened?
What?
Nobody gave a flying
Yeah,
fuck.
exactly.
And she's like,
Yeah.
"I'm an idiot. I just doubled
Yeah.
my income for no reason."
That's
Right.
amazing.
Right.
In other news, I'm quitting my job.
It's a
See,
lot
it was
of
funny when you made the joke. When I made it, it got real weird.
from what I understand, it's a lot of hanging out. Like being an escort
Yeah.
is a lot of
There's a whole
That's very
thing
funny.
called. There's a whole thing about like digital sugar babies who are sugar babies, but they don't actually meet the
yeah.
sugar
Right.
daddies.
It's
And I'm
just
like,
somebody to text.
literally,
Right.
I've been doing this
Sucks
shit
so-
for free.
I'll tag
Like,
you in my Insta posts. That's it. Like
Yeah.
that's really mostly it.
my rates are cheap. Contact me. We never meet up. That's it.
Oh my god!
That's fine.
I love the idea of like just the job interview. The guy being like, "It's a lot of hanging out, It's
It is.
me.
It's a union thing. You can't be on. You
Gotta
can't
sign
be.
a non-compete.
You've been working for 8 hours straight. You got to take a break. I'm sorry. You got to take a nap.
Top Reddit comment by Mystic_Arts NTA.
Okay.
But I feel you could have been a bit nicer. Just say something like, "Quote: I prefer to use someone who I have experience with."
Yeah, that's why I'm surprised this person deleted it. Our comments on the group were pretty split, I think, but the top Reddit comment was NTA, so I'm like, why did you delete this?
Yeah, I mean, look, all in all, I think what she said was hurtful. I think that affected that woman's confidence. I'm talking about the massage therapist.
The massage
feelings. It was an unnecessary, mean, and rigid comment to say that a woman wouldn't have a lot of strength, because some women are very strong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, it's like,
Yeah.
come on.
I also think you brought up a really good point where you're like, if a man said this, we'd call him YTA. So I feel like in the name
Absolutely.
of gender equality, I gotta go YTA.
I'm going
this.
YTA.
Yeah, I think she's the asshole. Yeah,
Wow, we
I think
did it.
I think so.